अनन्तं विभुं निर्विकल्पं निरीहं शिवं सङ्गहीनं यदोङ्कारगम्यं निराकारमत्युज्ज्वलं मृत्युहीनं परं ब्रह्म नित्यं तदेवाहमस्मि।
स्वराज्य साम्राज्य विभूतिरेषा भवत्कृपा श्रीमहिमप्रसादात् प्राप्ता मया श्रीगुरवे महात्मने नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमो नमस्तेस्तु पुनर्नमोस्तु नमस्तस्मै सदैकस्मै कस्मै चिन्महसे नमः यदेतद्विश्वरूपेण राजते गुरुराजते यदेतद्विश्वरूपेण राजते गुरुराजते। हरि ओम तत्सत्। That door can be closed if conversation is. So, we have done fully up to chapter 18, 55th verse. I am again repeating the sequence in another manner, of course, because if we lose track of the sequence, then it becomes difficult to apply it in the sadhana. We had studied that for all the four categories, that is Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, that by the natural tendencies, four broad categories have been made. But he said, and also what are the activities of each category, he has specified. But whatever the category, for all the four categories, he said that Sve Sve Karmanyavirata Samsiddhim Lavate Naraha. They, following their own natural activities, natural tendencies, they attain Siddhi. How? Swakarma nirata siddhim yatha vindati tachunu. That I will tell you how perfection can be attained by following one's natural karma, swabhava karma or natural activity. There, the first verse we should remember, yatah pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvamidam tatam swakarmana tam abhyarcha siddhim vindati manavaha. That is from which the truth from which the whole universe has come out, and in which the whole universe is sustained, is existing. You have to worship that truth by swakarma. That was it. But naturally the question was how to worship the truth by our own activity. So that we have discussed in elaborate manner that we are generally guided by desire motivated. Our activities are desire motivated. So whenever we do something freed of desire and ego, free of sangha and trishna or kama, then it becomes offering to the Ishvara, you say, or the ultimate truth, which is pervading everywhere. He took it to that extent that asakta buddhi sarvatra jitatma vigata spriha. These three conditions, he said, that always not having the clinging to preference and prejudice, intolerance about whatever we are not liking and clinging to what we are liking. Everywhere, sarvatra. Jita Atma means completely the whole being is under our own control. That means I had discussed how the buddhi remains anchored in the self, the buddhi guides the mind guides the sense organs, so that the whole being remains integrated. Jitatma, this word means integrated personality. In Kathopanishad, those who are attending, there it meant, the term was Yuktatma. Yuktatma means all the parts of the being, they are connected to the inmost reality. Jitatma also means that. Vigata spriha, that means all desires. I have shown so many times that the desires are redundant. Once we understand their redundancy, desires will automatically fall. Naishkarmya siddhim paramam sanyasenadi gacchati. Sannyasa, I had gone back and said that phalatyaga is sannyasa in 6th chapter. Nishkriya and naniragnir nachakriya, he has clearly said. Anashrita karma phalam. Those who do not take ashraya in the final result of the karma, not the objective result. That I gain, the personal gain, that I will become happy, that is the ultimate phala. That is common to whatever the objective result is. That is different for different karma, always different. But this karma phala is same. We want to become happy by getting the result. So that is what to be renounced. Now this naishkarma siddhi means where there is no activity. When we get to the soul, we come to realize, come to experience the inactive soul, where there is no activity, because there is no difference at all, there is no question of any activity there. So the still non-active consciousness, we come to know at that point. Now, saying that siddhim prapto yatha brahma tathapnoti nibodhame, here I had gone back to the 5th chapter to say the Atma Sthiti and Brahma Sthiti. Even after Atma Sakshatkara, what do? He has clearly said that the delight they get in Samadhi from the Atma Sthiti, that delight becomes always permanent in interacting with the whole world. Then only it is Brahma Sthiti. For that, what is the sadhana? Whatever we are looking for in the meditation, the soul, that we have to look for in our interactive life also. What are the soul parameters? That it is not selfish, it is universal, one, transcendental, it is unaffected by everything, it is untainted, it is the purest we can think of. Moreover, it is not the object. It cannot be known as anything different from me. It has to be known only as me, that amness. So, all that sadhana, for the interactive sadhana is necessary, by which we will establish the soul or Atma, which we have known in meditation or Samadhi. That Atma has to be established in the whole world, in everything. The whole world has to be established in the Atma by this interactional sadhana, by always making the mind purified of its selfishness, constrictions, desires and whatnot. He says that siddhim prapto yatha brahma tathapnoti nibodhame. How he attains Brahman, that you listen from me. Samasenaiva kaunteya nishtha jnanasya yapara. So he is saying that this attainment of the Brahman is the nishtha. Nishtha means the full dedication to the knowledge. Now see how initially Arjuna said that I want to take to Krishna in the 2nd chapter. you are saying that Sankhya, the knowledge of the soul is so great and I have felt it to be like that also. Why are you putting me into this ghora karma, the war, like that? I would like to take up sannyasa, I would like to stay in the forest, live on bhiksha vritti and attain that. Krishna said, no, you are not fit for that. That is only because you are given to, even now you are thinking about how to conquer Duryodhana and all, your mind will not be fit for this practice, pursuit. So you do karma yoga, which means, and which is the same as buddhi yoga, that means establish, anchored the intelligence in the truth, and always through whenever you are doing activities, you try to expand your mind and purify your mind and intelligence so that you can always remain anchored in the soul. Now, once he had attained the Atma Sakshatkara, naishkarmya siddhim paramam naishkarmya siddhim, sannyasena adhigacchati. This is not external sannyasa. Already we have said that Bhagavad Gita is talking about the internal sannyasa. Similarly, naishkarmya siddhi also is internal. It is not that he doesn't do anything outside. At that point in the samadhi, he attains the naishkarma atma, that which is not moving, not involved in any of the worldly activities. After that, what happens? That whole karma yoga gets transformed into nishtha jnanasya yapara. It is becoming jnana yoga, which he denied Arjuna in the beginning. He says, after you have performed the karma yoga and attained this siddhi, it becomes your pursuit. That jnana nishtha. Then how to attain, what is this jnana nishtha? Buddhya vishuddhaya yukto dhrityatmanam niyamya Shabdadin Vishayam Styaktva Ragadvesha Vidasya. This we have done up to 53. What are the pursuit of the Jnana Nishtha? To pursue the Jnana Nishtha, you have to remove whatever is the obstacle to Jnana Nishtha. What is Jnana? Jnana is the soul which is impersonal, all-pervading, untainted, unaffected. So whatever qualities are hindering that actualization, they have to be removed. This ahankara balam darpam, ahankaram balam darpam, all these are hindering because they are making our mind constricted. All are darpa, means pride of a certain nature. Balam means the capacity or the power we have on the basis of some desireful things, not the other bala strength they are talking about. Ahankara, they are all always constricting our buddhi, constricting our mind. We should remember that they are making my identity small. This much if you remember, then it is fine. So whatever is making us constricted, making us selfish, making us small, those have to be eliminated. That is nishtha jnanasya yapara. So buddhi has to be anchored in the soul, in the parameters of the soul, and applying that in our interactions. Always we will try to eliminate all the qualities which are opposing the soul, which are opposing the infinitude, opposing the impersonality, opposing the purity, opposing that untaintedness, unaffectedness. Is it clear? Now, saying that, he says that Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. See, 53rd verse, Brahma bhuyaya kalpate. He becomes fit to attain Brahman. Kalpate means fit to, deserving. That means he becomes fit to attain Brahman. Then he says, is another section here, that what happens to a person who becomes Brahmanishta. This also we have done, that Brahma bhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati samah sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labhate param. Bhaktya mam abhijanati yavan yaschasmi tatvatah tato mam tatvato jnatva vishate tadanantaram. These two shlokas form the other section. We should mark in the book, otherwise you will forget later on. Nothing will remember. Why other section? See, the jnana initially is working on buddhi. And that buddhi you are anchoring in the soul parameters, so to say. So you are enlarging the buddhi, purifying the buddhi, sharpening the buddhi, removing all the constrictions, selfishness, etc. You're making the buddhi free. But at a certain point, the sadhana must go over to the plane, the emotional plane. It is not just the buddhi. When the sadhana gets promoted to the emotional plane, then a great change arises. Then the bhakti dawns. What is that? It's a delight, an adoration, a feeling of gratitude towards this great which the buddhi has realized. See, only बुद्धि से आप सोचेंगे कि वे असीम है, इनफाइनाइट है, सब कुछ बोलिए, फिर भी मन में कोई परिवर्तन नहीं आने वाले हैं. मन में परिवर्तन लाने के लिए उसमें भावना चाहिए. इमोशनल एसोसिएशन है इसे. इट हैज टू बी एसोसिएटेड विद द इमोशन. व्हाट इज द इमोशन? That for the great, what should be our emotional attitude? We should feel gratitude, we should feel love, we should feel delight thinking about it. So we are getting promoted to the devotional level. This bhakti I had explained the other day, it is the fourth kind of bhakti, jnana rupa bhakti. That where he has said, chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukritano arjuna, arto jijnasu Artharthi, Jnani cha Bharatarshava. Artha means those who are in difficulty. Jijnasu means curious. Artharthi means those who want some prosperity, etc. Last one is the Jnani. And so many shlokas I read out that, the 3-4 shlokas which says the Jnani is the most favorite, and because he is always connected to the Atma. Through his buddhi, he is always connected to that. So this bhakti, when it dawns, it is the jnana mishra, jnana rupa bhakti. It is called para bhakti. It is not khanda bhakti, which initially we may have, going to the temple, worshipping, doing puja, etc. There that vastness of the truth, the vastness of God or the vastness of divine has not dawned. We are having our very preferential puja to our own deity. Do you get it? There it's a very constricted, selfish bhakti. So this bhakti is not that. Jnana Rupa bhakti is bhakti for the infinite. For the infinite, you become in tune with the infinitude, infinite. And correspondingly, it fulfills you with a delight which is called bhakti. The bhakti is a great, intense delight. We call it sometimes ecstasy also. Because you feel the expansion. It's no question of understanding only with the buddhi. It's a feeling associated with that. This is what is the meaning of these 2 shlokas. They have, that is why he says, Bhaktya mam abhijanati. Abhijanati means he knows. The ultimate result has to be a knowledge. Because why are we missing the soul? Why are we thinking I am small? Ajnana. It's an ignorance. I don't know that I am that the soul is universal and I am that. So it is basically an ajnana, an ignorance. So finally that ignorance has to go. But to remove that ignorance fully, that purpose of bhakti also has to, the bhakti has to be fully incorporated in that. So bhaktya mam abhijanati. By that bhakti he comes to know what? Yavan yaschasmi tattvataha. What I am really in my, say, in my pristine nature, as he has known in samadhi, and also how am I in the world. That it is not only to be known in samadhi as a nischala consciousness or atma. The whole world is appearing in that atma. We cannot miss that atma anywhere. Then only the knowledge becomes complete. So that, to have that completeness and wholesomeness, that bhakti is essential, the jnana rupa bhakti. Tato mam tattvato jnatva vishate tadanantaram. That, but what is happening is the knowledge. Tattvataha means in essence, in all my characteristics. When he comes to know, then he enters me, anantaram. Vishate mam, he enters me. Who is saying enters me? Krishna. Who is Krishna? Who has identified with that universal atma. So entering Krishna, Krishna is not that, so Bhagavad Gita has become invalid then. Suppose you say that Krishna is no more there, how can you enter Krishna? And how can you otherwise also enter Krishna? He was having a body. You cannot enter his body. So Whenever Krishna is saying Mam, it means that Krishna whose identity is the universal soul, Brahman. So anybody entering Krishna means he is also identifying with the universal soul. Now comes, here we will start. Now the 56, 57, 56 to 62. 56 to 62. It is a summary of surrender. See, surrender ultimate will come still later. That is the Gushyad Gushyataram, then it will Sarva Gushyataram. Now he is coming to Gushyad Gushyataram. Then it will be Sarva Gushyataram. Sarva Gushyataram. That the highest secret. That will come. It is ending before that. I mean, this section is before that. So here he has summarized what should be the pursuit of surrender, sadhana of surrender. That is 56 to 62. Sarva karmanyapi sada.
Sarva karmanyapi sada.
Kurvano madvyapashrayah.
Kurvano madvyapashrayah.
Mat prasadad avapnoti.
Mat prasadad avapnoti.
Shashvatam padamavyayam.
Shashvatam padamavyayam.
Cetasa sarva karmani.
Cetasa sarva karmani.
Mai sanyasya matparaha.
Mai sanyasya matparaha.
Buddhiyogamupashritya.
Buddhiyogamupashritya.
Macchitta satatam bhava.
Macchittah satatam bhava.
Macchitta sarva durgani.
Macchittah sarva durgani.
Matprasadat tarishyasi.
Matprasadat tarishyasi.
Atha chetvam ahankarat.
Atha chetvam ahankarat.
Nashroshyasi vinangshasi.
Nashroshyasi vinangshasi.
Yadahankaramashritya.
Yadahankaramashritya.
Nayotsya iti manyase.
Nayotsya iti manyase.
Mithyaisha vyavasayaste.
Mithyaisha vyavasayaste.
Prakritistvam niyoksyati.
Prakritistvam niyoksyati.
So he says sarva karmani, 56th verse. Sarva karmani api sada, always, kurvanaha mat vyapashrayah. Vyapashraya means apashraya. Apashraya means taking refuge. And vyapashraya means taking very well refuge. That means vishesha rupena, we, when it is added. Now, why it is we also, vishesha rupena, is ashraya when you are taking in the Lord or in the Atma or in your inmost reality. The kind of work you are doing, at the time you have to think of what is this taking refuge in. How can you take refuge there? Suppose you are fixing a car, repairing a car, or you are taking food. All these are karmani. So how can everything be taking ashraya of the ultimate truth? That means again we have to remember that if any desire is there, if any prejudice is there, remove that and then do whatever you do. Then automatically it becomes ashraya of the Lord. That means I was giving some example also, even in dire danger or calamity also, we will not pray that, oh Lord, relieve me of this. We will, maximum we can pray that give me enough strength that I can course through it. Otherwise, the prayer will be, oh Lord, whatever you think best for me, let it happen. Whatever you think best for me or for whatever, wherever it is, let it happen. Even if it is a great loss, your mind will be whatever best for me, it should happen. That is the ashraya. I will give a personal example. I have told earlier also, but generally we are a little reluctant in talking about. But sometimes the personal examples will make clear. When I was leaving Calcutta University and going to join Kharagpur IIT, my whatever PhD work PhD was over, but all the work done was not yet published. So we had another 3 papers to be published, and all the data, whatever we had done, all the results, data. And those days we did not have these laptops and desktops. We had huge those IBM 360 computer. Whole night I would sit there to get took data in the morning. Whole night the computer will run, you are sitting. Then maybe at 3 o'clock in the night or 5 o'clock in the night, one data has come. You look into it and again adjust it and do something. It was like that. I am saying this detail because there was no question of doing it again. So all these things, papers I collected from university and going back to home. The two were university and our home was on 2 ends of Calcutta. So on the way, midway in the market, that new market it used to be called, now I don't know what it is called, municipal market perhaps. No? The new market, there I got down and I was trying to buy a suitcase to carry all the papers. To take all the research papers in a separate suitcase. To buy that I got down there and I was moving from shop to shop to select the suitcase which will be most, the color has to be proper, the size has to be proper, I must like it. I was very fastidious about everything. So when I got the suitcase and came back home, I found that I have brought the suitcase but it is empty. The papers I had left in the shop. So it was not so much shocking because I thought that who will take the papers? Tomorrow I will go and collect the papers. There was nothing much to worry about it. Next morning I went to get, and 5-6 shops I had moved. Nowhere they said that they don't know about the paper. They have not seen or they had not cared for it. So I could not get the paper, and there is nothing more to be done also. I mean, we cannot look for the paper in the police station also. Then immediately there was a shock that 3 papers, it's not easy to work again. So many months and years of work and it has come. I will not have the patience to work again. So there was a sort of a shock in the beginning. Maybe a few minutes I would say, 2-3 minutes or 5 minutes let us say, I don't remember very well. Then immediately I thought that I think whatever has happened, it is good for me only. I am going to a new place for a new project. Now if I had carried all these things, my mind will be making my papers published. There will be a hangover of all these things I will try to publish. So I will not do full justice to my new work. The paper publication job is quite also, it needs dedication. So the new area, new project I am going to join in IIT Kharagpur, I will not be doing justice to it. I will try to publish my papers. Oh, it has gone very well, let it go. Gaya hai, theek hi hai. Immediately the mind goes completely relieved. This is what I say, that all the tension we carry throughout the day for many things, the moment you press the acceptance button, at least the tension will go and it will put your mind in the best position to, if any solution is there also, you will be able to think about the solution. Whatever it is, the tension is created by the non-readiness of the mind to accept the situation. It is not created by the situation. Our problems are all created inside. Anything happening, we look for the problem in the world. Actually, the world has no problem at all. The problem is always inside. So we have to always invert our... So that is the sadhana, that always we have to look within and set the mind right. That wherever there is a tension, wherever there is a pressure, there is a selfishness, there is some self-gain, corresponding fear, anxiety, everything, fear of losing something I like, fear of facing something I dislike. That is also a great fear. We want to avoid anything we dislike. That is why we sometimes don't want to protest where protest is necessary, because we don't want to face people. Protest needs courage. We don't want to. So everywhere that correction has to be brought. That protest I am doing not for any selfish gain. If it has to be done for the society, for anything, for honesty, we will do, but not for selfish gain. If there is selfish motive, remove it. If there is fear for getting some repercussion, remove it. This is the sadhana. Throughout life we have to do to have this. What is that I said? Sarva karmani api sada kurvano mad vyapashraya. This is the meaning of mad vyapashraya. That always we have to eliminate our preference, prejudice, clinging to the preferred thing, and intolerance against whatever we don't like. Mat prasadad avapnoti shashvatam padam avyayam. Shashvatam means eternal, padam means that goal, avyayam means unchanging. That is the goal. They are right from the beginning. They are saying that the goal is the unchanging. Why? It is not in the objectude. In the objectude, in the creation, everything is changeful. You cannot have anything unchanging there. Creation means changeful. There is energy, there is change always. Anything cannot be produced without the cause undergoing a change. So the changeless is only the subject consciousness. That is the only changeless. So Padamavyam means he is able to realize the soul. That is it. Why? Mat prasadat? Because actually Krishna is not there. How his prasada will come down? Mat prasadat means all the power is right there in our soul. Not knowing that we are behaving in a small manner, selfish manner, weak manner, cowardice manner. Everything, whatever Krishna is saying, mat, it is right there in our soul. So it is the prasada of the Atma itself which will take you to the Atma. We should understand the underlying secret here. That it is the prasada is of the Atma. By following the Atma, anchoring the Atma, by the prasada of the Atma, we attain the Atma. There is nothing else. Chetasa sarva karmani.
Chetas.
Chetasa sarva karmani.
Chetasa sarva karmani.
Mai sanyasya matparaha.
Mai sanyasya matparaha.
Buddhi yogamupashritya.
Buddhi yogamupashritya.
Macchitta satatam bhava.
Macchitta satatam bhava.
Macchitta sarva durgani.
Macchitta sarva durgani.
Mat prasadat tarishyasi.
Mat prasadat tarishyasi.
Athachet tvamahankarat.
Athache tvamahankarat.
Nashroshyasi vinangshyasi.
Nashroshyasi vinangshyasi.
See, chetasa, he clearly says, how to renounce the karma? Not by running away from the karma. Arjuna was running away from the war field. He says, no, you fight the war, but the renunciation you have to do with, it's an internal renunciation. Chetasa, with your mind. That you are not looking for, as you said in the first chapter, that aho vata mahat papam kartum vyavasita vayam yat rajya sukha lobhena hantum sajanamudyata. Yat rajya sukha lobhena. That the greed for enjoying the kingdom. That you have to renounce. That is the chetasa. And all actions, sarva karmani, it is not just the war or office or anything. Even your puja, even your yajna if you do, everything. So it is not time limited sadhana. When you say sarva karmani chetasa sanyasya, that means you have to pursue it all the moments, every phase of life, every day, every moment. So it is not a time limited sadhana that you can say that, no, I don't have time to sit for meditation or time to read the scriptures. No time you can claim for it. All your complaints will be rejected by that because they are not asking for any time, separate time for it. Mai sanyasa. This Mai, who is that Mai just now I explained? It is our Atma. That is the anchorage there. Although Krishna is saying, you renounce in Krishna or samarpana you do, surrender to Krishna. But actually Krishna is one who has identified with the universal soul. So now Krishna is not there. You have to surrender to that ultimate truth, which is our own Atma. Sanyasya, samyak nyasya. That means anashrita karma phalam. That's 6.1. Anashrita. Sanyasya means anashrita karma phalam. Everywhere it is. If you can remember 3-4 things, the whole Bhagavad Gita will become simple and clear. Sannyasa mane, what is the meaning? Whatever you have to do. That we should not, if my mind is spinning on to the result, what is that? My paper will be published and then I will have some fame or this or that, whatever. Sannyasya. That is the karma phalam. Objective you cannot do. Objective, whatever you do, you will be there. But it is the mental. खत्म हो गया क्या? ठीक है? It is again the result I am looking for, that my paper will be published and then I will have something. That feeling. If you say that it is great, why should you not be, it is beneficial for the society. Well, if it is so beneficial for the society, we would have again worked for it. We are publishing thousands and millions of paper. Nothing is so important. And whatever fundamental work that is already there, anybody can apply it also. So that point doesn't come. Mat paraha. This is very important. Mat paraha means giving me the supreme position. Giving whom? Krishna? You can. But here, giving our own soul the supreme position. That is, we are calling God supreme but not giving him the supreme position. The sadhana becomes sadhana when we give God the supreme position. Here God equivalent to our self. When we give that self the supreme position, then it becomes mat paraha. That means giving mat the param position, the supreme position. Buddhi yogam upashritya. Then you can take ashraya, refuge in the buddhi yogam. How? You will always try to anchor in that soul. You have given it the supreme position. So you are not guided by the sense attractions, this is tasty or this is that, or any other sense attraction. You are not guided by property or loss or gain or anything of that sort. Whatever to be done for business you will do. But your mind should be set on the self. That is the buddhi yogam upashrita. Anchor the buddhi in the soul. Matchitta satatam bhava. Will one who has anchored his buddhi in the soul, in the atma, he will automatically become matchittaha. Matchitta means whose mind is completely given to me. The buddhi is already anchored there, so the mind also will be guided by the buddhi. Satatam bhava, you always. Matchitta sarvadurgani mat prasadat tarishyasi. Then all the difficulties and calamities you face, which you think that you will overcome them, that is our general feeling, that I have to do this, I have to do that. Whatever calamities, durgani means difficulties. Whatever you face, you will automatically overcome them. How? Mat prasadat, by the prasada of the Atma. So when Rama was not able to kill Ravana, what did he do? He meditated on his Vaishnava Rupa. That means he became zero. He went in, he became the self. And then he shot the arrow, Ravana was killed. He did not know that it is going to happen like that. It was correctly taken. This happens in a sadhak's life innumerable times till he becomes quite non-curious about these things. As long as the curiosity is there, oh, it is magic, it is, oh, great blessings, it's Guru's blessing, God's blessing. After some time you feel, everything is blessings only. Why speak about it? Nothing matters. Athache tvam ahankarat na shrosyasi vinangshasi. Otherwise, if you don't listen to me, Arjuna, then you will be destroyed. Destroyed means, vinangshasi means nasha. Actually, it means shreyo, that Arjuna wanted shreyas. Yat shreyas yat nishchitam bruhitan me shishyasteham shadimam tvam prapannam. That shreya lava, here Vinankshyasi doesn't mean that Arjuna will die. Arjuna will die in the sense that he will not understand his eternal self. So he is already dead by that. The body lives, but his soul is, we call it Atmaha. We have all committed suicide because we don't know ourselves, which is immortal. That means we have always the feeling of mortality. We are always haunted by the feeling of mortality. So Vinankshyasi means you will not have the ultimate goal attained. If you, out of your ahankara, if you don't listen to me. Why he is saying here, what is the importance for the sadhakas? That if you don't listen and you depend on your egoistic buddhi, then you will go. That it is not that if Arjuna doesn't fight only. Here it is if you don't fight and go away, then you will not attain the ultimate goal. But for everybody, every phase of life, every point of life, always we are caught by the ahankara. Ahankara and gain-oriented mind. So we will not be able to get over that. So to remember that, this is necessary. You go to 10th chapter, 8th verse, 8 to 11. 10th chapter, those who have the book. It is a similar there. 10th chapter, 8th verse, from there we will read a few. Aham sarvasya prabhavo
Aham sarvasya prabhavo
mattas sarvam pravartate.
mattas sarvam pravartate.
Are you able to identify it with the present shloka? How to renounce all your karma? Yatah pravrittir bhutanam. Forgot. Yena sarvam idam tatah. The same line, the first line, it is coming. Yatah pravrittir bhutanam yena sarvam idam tatah swakarmana tam abhyarcha siddhim vindati manavana. So here also aham sarvasya prabhava mattah sarvam pravartate. Krishna here it is saying in first person that I am the origin of everything, the whole universe. And the whole universe is sustained by me also. All the actions are proceeding from me. The energy, everything is proceeding from me. Iti matva bhajante mam. Knowing this, that I am the source of everything, I am the sustainer of everything. Knowing this, who worship me. Iti matva bhajante mam. Knowing this, who worship me. How? Buddha bhava samanvitaha. Buddha means, it has come from buddhi. That means those who understand, those who have understood the truth. And how do they do? With their buddhi they have understood, and bhava samanvitaha. That means they have the devotional, the love, the emotional association with that. Bhava samanvitaha means emotional, with emotional association. Macchitta madgata prana bodhayantah parasparam kathayantascha mam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Tesham satata yuktanam. Those who are like that, the Buddha bhava samanyataha, who are always worshipping me. Tesham satata yuktanam. They are always connected to me. He has said so many places. Bhajatam priti purvakam. These are I came back to 10th chapter only to emphasize the devotional element, the love element. Priti purvakam. That means we have to develop a fondness, a delight in the pursuit. That delight in the pursuit will not come as long as the devotional part is missing. So a very knowledge-oriented person, don't think that he is not a devotional person. His devotion will be of the supreme nature, parabhakti. Without that he won't get joy in his sadhana. Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam. Those who are worshipping me with priti means that love has grown, the adoration has grown, that oneness, that the craving to become one with what we are worshipping. That is the priti. If we really love God, don't we want to become attached to Him, completely fused into Him, unified with Him? That is the priti. That just the dry knowledge will not do that. The knowledge has to be associated with the bhakti, the love, the priti. To them, what do? He says, Dadami buddhi yogam tam mena mam upayantite. To him, he is giving buddhi yoga. See, buddhi yoga came in the beginning. He says, when a person understands this truth that I am everywhere and I am the source of everything and develops a love for me, then only he is fit for pursuing even the buddhi yoga, which he started in the third chapter. Yena mam upayantite, by which they attain me. Tesham, this verse you can read, it's very good. Tesham evanukampartham.
Tesham evanukampartham.
Aham ajnanajam tamaha.
Aham ajnanajam tamaha.
Nashyayamyatma bhavastho.
Nashayamyatma bhavastho.
Jnanadipena bhasvata.
Jnanadipena bhasvata.
He says, Tesham eva anukampartham, being sympathetic to them, aham ajnanajam tamaha, that tamoguna, ignorance, darkness, which is rising out of, the ajnana which is rising out of tamas, the tamoguna, or you can say darkness which is rising out of ignorance. Nashayami, I completely remove it. How? Atma bhavasthaha. By Atma, he is already Atma. What is Atma bhava then? That is making them look towards their Atma. Jnanadipena bhasvata. That is lighting a lamp in their inner being. By lighting the lamp, Jnanadipena bhasvata. That is being compassionate to them. I remove the darkness by lighting a lamp. Darkness is not material darkness, so ordinary lamp will not do. It is the ajnana darkness which has to be removed by the knowledge. So he says, why it is, I went back to this to say that by bhakti, how the jnana comes. He says it is out of when you are having this kind of a para-bhakti, that you are removing, you are offering everything, foregoing your ego and gain and desires and everything, then jnana will automatically come. The Lord himself will appear in your heart with the lamp of knowledge. This is very important because they are synthesizing everything there. Nobody should think that it is all different path. I am on karma marga, you are on bhakti marga, he is on what is that? Jnana marga. Even people also say that Ma is bhakti marga and Nutun Swamiji is jnana marga. So this love in Rabindranath's poem, it is, I think the title is Mukti. The Mukti he has defined in a very beautiful manner, different from the Mukti we generally study. He says, Vairagya sadhane Mukti Shyamanna. Actually, it is wrongly understood. It is not like that the full poem has to be. And there he has the last line is Mohamor Mukti Rupe Uthibe Julia. Prem more bhakti rupe rohibe phuliya. The end part of it is moha, my delusion will become ablaze as the liberation. Liberation from andhakara, liberation from ignorance. Prem more, whatever the human love we have, that Prem more bhakti rupe rohive phuliya. That prema will get converted into bhakti and the moha will get converted into mukti. You don't have to leave anything. The whole world will undergo a change because of our internal change. Purne manasi sampurnam jagat sarvam sudhadravaihi. The whole world becomes nectarine. Okay, let us proceed to the next. Now again, whenever he puts the positive side, after that he says that what are the obstacles on that path. Like that it goes back and forth. Here, up 60, 59, 60, 61, actually it started from the 58th verse itself. The second line, Atachet tvam ahankarat na shoshyasi vinangshasi. That is the negative part. Now, the 3 verses, they are also the obstacles to the sadhana. Yadahankaramashritya
Yadahankaramashritya
nayotsya iti manyase
nayotsya iti manyase
mithyaisha vyavasayaste
Mithyaisha vyavasayaste
prakritistvam niyoksyati.
Prakritistvam niyokshyati.
He says, if you take recourse to ahankara, ego, and you think that no, I am not going to fight. Arjuna, so still Arjuna is fluctuating. Krishna doesn't have enough faith. Even now, if you think that I am not going to fight, know that it is because of your ego. I am telling you the clarity I am giving, but you are not accepting. So it is because of your ego. If it is so, mithyaisha vyavasayaste, the resolute intelligence you have, the resolution you have. What is the resolve here? You are resolving to take up sannyasa and practice jnana nishtha, which you are not fit, you will not be able to do it. So it is mithya. It's just futile is your resolution, your resolve that you will take to jnana nishtha. Prakritistvam niyoksyati. Your nature will force you to do what you are doing. In the going to the forest also you will think of Duryodhana and how to kill him. Your mind will not be given to your Atma. If you run away from your work and try to focus on meditation and Atma Jnana, taking to Jnana Nishtha. Swabhavajena kaunteya nibaddha svena karmana. Swabhavajena kaunteya, O kaunteya, swabhavajena nibaddha svena karmana. Kattum nechasi yan mohat karishyasi avashopitat. A person is bound by his swabhava to his own natural karma. If out of delusion you think that you don't want to do it, know that you will do it like avasha, you will do it helplessly, you will be forced to do it. It will not be under your control. That Arjuna himself had asked that atakena prayukto am papam charati purusha anichanniva vashneya baladiva niyajitaha. That people still undergo sinful activities, that as if by wind they are carried away, although they don't want to. Here he is saying, although you don't want to, you will be carried away by your own natural tendencies. Ishvara sarva bhutanam hriddeshe arjuna tishtati. That in all the beings, the Bhagavan or the truth or the Atma or Ishvara is right there in the heart. He is right there in your heart. Brahmayan sarva bhutani yantrarudhani mayaya. As if sitting on the machine, they are driving us according to the nature. The driver is the Ishvara. He is making us go here and there. We are not free. We are bound by it, is what he is saying. Now here you go back to 7.5, the 7th chapter, 5th verse. Why I will say this yantrarudhani mayaya, what does it mean? See, 7.5, before that 4 and 5, I will just read, you don't have to repeat. Bhumirapo analo vayuhu khammano buddhirevacha ahankara itiyam me bhinna prakritirashtadha apareyamitastvanyam prakritim viddhi me param jiva bhutam mahabaho Yayedam dharyate jagat. He says that he is describing the whole nature and prakriti and objectude. Bhumihi, apaha, that means earth, water, fire, air and space. These are the external objects, external elements. And mano, buddhi, these are the internal elements. Ahankara, this is also internal element. These 8, 5 plus 3, 5 external and 3 internal. Internal, mana, buddhi and ahankara. External, the 5 old elements. These 8, this is the ashtadha prakriti, the eightfold nature. That is, nature constitutes of these 8 elements. Ashtadha, they are saying there is a meaning, I will not go into it in detail. That means it's not all separated, they are all linked to each other, the eightfold nature. He says that this is the apara prakriti, that means inferior prakriti. This is a Bhagavad Gita speciality. Apare, this expression is Bhagavad Gita speciality. Aparayam itastu anyam prakritim viddhi me param. This is the apara prakriti constituting these 8 elements, constituted of these 8 elements. You listen to me from what is that supreme prakriti, para prakriti. What is the superior prakriti? This is all inferior. What is that? Jiva bhutam mahavaho yayedam dharyate jagat. Para prakriti is that by which I am becoming a jiva, that means associated with the body-mind personality. I am getting associated with the body-mind personality and holding the whole universe. This is the Maya element. See, as such, the whole thing is nothing but consciousness. But the moment the consciousness, the reflection of the consciousness comes to our buddhi, that we call jiva, that we call chit abhasa, chidabhasa also. These are the names in the Shastra. The other day I showed you the mirror, told you about the mirror, that the light is coming from there and it's getting reflected by the mirror. With the secondary beam you can see, with the reflected beam we can see everything. But when we are thinking that the beam is coming from the mirror, we are wrong. Actually the light is coming from the original light. But we are thinking that it is coming from the mirror. So what is the mirror doing? It is only allowing the original light to be reflected and go into a reflected beam. Am I clear? So like that, our buddhi, our whole body-mind complex is allowing this consciousness to be expressed with the association of the body-mind personality, and that creates the whole universe for us. It is holding the whole universe by becoming, this is called the jiva. This is what we mean by jiva, the element in each mirror, that is in each body-mind complex, the reflection of the consciousness. It is called chidabhasa also. Chit abhasa, it is not the chit. Like the moon's reflection in all the millions of waves are there. One moon is getting reflected. So the moon's reflections in the waves is just like the chidabhasa. That is the jiva. Each wave has a reflection and that is changing also. But nothing happens to the moon. So this is the Maya, that the impersonal Godhead or the impersonal truth in association with the body-mind complex is projecting the whole world and making us, according to that body-mind complex, he is binding us in the world. So the moment we understand this, then we get liberated from the bondage of the body-mind complex. Am I making things more complex or clear? Huh? You should always learn to relate the different verses, then the clarity will be more. So, who is making us work like the instruments, remaining in the heart of all the beings? Tam eva, you take recourse. Sharanam means you take your ashraya, your refuge in that. Who is sitting in our heart, making us move in this world in different manner. Taking refuge in him. Tam eva, sharanam gaccha. You take refuge. I said that these are all the summary of the surrender, how you are going to surrender. He is explaining in different manner. Tam eva sharanam gaccha. Tam eva. This eva is very important. Only him. Don't take ashraya in the objects or that sense enjoyments or prosperity, this, that. We are generally taking our refuge in that. That is why whenever something goes, we are not able to accept it. Whenever there is a difficulty or we have to lose something I like or face something I dislike, we are not able to accept the situation. So we have not taken ashraya in the truth, in the Ishvara who is sitting in the heart is making us move around. If we take ashraya in him, that is what he is saying. Tameva sharanam gacha. How will you take sharanam? Sarva bhavena bharata. Whatever bhava is there. Now this is another intricate point. How will you take ashraya by all your bhavas? Tell me. That means surrender bolna to asan hai. Suppose you are very angry. How will you surrender it? Your anger has to be surrendered there. How will you surrender to the Lord? Anger or any such which is negative quality, suppose. Today a person was telling me that somebody had to be scolded, but while scolding she got irritated. So understood that the surrender is not there. Now the question is that you have to scold where scolding is necessary. But you must not scold out of your affectation or your irritation. Where scolding is necessary, you have to scold. Because that is necessary for the objective purpose work. But if you are scolding out of irritation, you are losing your self-seatedness. Suppose somebody is abusing. We return abuse. It is because we are losing our poise, losing our self-seatedness. So, when you do not out of any personal irritation, that means desire, ego, etc., they are not there. You do it as a necessity, as a prakriti. Whatever to be done, you are doing. Then it becomes surrendered. So, in effect, you will find that everything, just now I said, premor bhakti rupe rohibe pulya. That means the personal love of the fragmented love we are having, they all will be turned into the devotion towards the ultimate. So like that, here also you will find that the anger and all the negative traits will get complete transformation. You will not have the corresponding klesha or the friction corresponding to that. Wherever you have to scold, you will scold. Wherever one has to be loved, you will love. In love, you will not get attached by that love, that if he goes away, you will suffer and you will not be able to withstand. In your scolding also, you will not get any irritation or any abhorrence towards that, hatred towards that person. Whatever to be done, you will do. There is a statement which is called Rosho Vinirmala Dhyam Ramaniya Eva. Am I correct? Rosho, na? Roshopi Nirmala Dhyam Ramaniya Eva. That Rosha means expression of powerful anger, you can say, sort of anger. Although they will not have anger, but it is anger. He says that a Nirmaladhi means a pure person whose buddhi and mind has become purified. Nirmaladhyam, that is for the Nirmaladhi, for the pure-minded people, even the anger is Ramaniya Eva. It is very beautiful. Their anger is very beautiful. You may sometimes experience it in the children sometimes, that not so much attached, but little their rosha they may express sometimes, very simply you may enjoy that. But truly speaking, this is what it is. When the mind is freed of its kalmasha, of its impurities, of its ego and desire, then whatever you do, it is beautiful. So war is also beautiful. Here in the context, if you can fight the war like this, it is beautiful. After this message, when Arjuna was fighting, every day there used to be some problem in the camp and Krishna had to resolve. So one day Karna and Yudhishthira were fighting. And Yudhishthira was not parallel to Karna at all. So he got defeated, but Karna had promised that I will not kill the Panchapandavas. So he did not kill him, but he caught hold of his hair and said that you are a Brahmana boy, go and do puja. So it was a great insult for Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira had lot of Brahmana properties. He was not so much Kshatriya, but both were there. So that was a great insult. Yudhishthira came back with red face, came back to the camp. But the fact is that when he was getting defeated, he had called Arjuna repeatedly. He sent message for Arjuna to come. But these people knew that the moment Karna attacked Yudhishthira, Arjuna will come and save him. So they had made a special vyuha, special arrangement of forces with big Maharathis and all, so that Arjuna cannot come. Every time he will be opposed in various places. So Arjuna could not reach. When he finally came, he found that already it is done. So when he came back to the camp that day, Yudhishthira was already very angry, sitting annoyed with Arjuna, sitting there. The moment Arjuna entered, he said, throw away your Gandiva. When I wanted you, you could not come. Throw away your Gandiva. You understand? Gandiva was the... Now Arjuna got very excited that I had promised that anybody who tells me throw away your Gandiva, I will cut his head. But now he has to cut the head of Yudhishthira to keep his promise. Why am I telling this? I am pointing out, if you have Mahabharata, you see that the statements of Arjuna, it is quite long statement. The story is not over. I will connect again. But so many things he will say. From experience here, there are many things, but the last two lines of all the statements are the same. But Krishna, you are a knower of truth. Whatever you say, I will do. That Yudhishthira never had. Arjuna is saying, after expressing all his anguish, all his, whatever his opinion, end point is, but Krishna, you are a knower of truth. Whatever you say, I will accept. That means his ashraya in the Guru, in Krishna. Now what is it then? Krishna found that by the time Krishna also was there, he found that what will happen if Arjuna kills Yudhishthira, then the whole war is gone. He immediately said that, oh, you don't know. In the Shastras it is said that if you abuse your elder brother, it is equal to killing him. So you abuse your elder brother profusely. So Arjuna goes on abusing Yudhishthira. What all he said, you should see, it is very interesting. What all complaint he had against Yudhishthira. Everything, all the abuses over. After ending all the abuses, he says, but in the Shastras say, Arjuna is saying, Shastras say that if you abuse your elder brother, you should commit suicide. So I am now going to commit suicide. Krishna was again... He said, oh, acha, theek hai. But you don't know that a Veera, a real courageous warrior, for him committing suicide is Atmashlaga. Atmashlaga means you announce that I am a great fighter, I have done this, I have done that, etc. A real courageous person, a real warrior will never speak like that. They will be humble. So if a warrior starts having such announcements, Atmashlaga it is called, then it is a commitment equal to commitment of suicide. So Arjuna again opposes this said many things, but oh Krishna, whatever you say I accept. So all the statements are like that. Finally Krishna was happy, he could solve the problem in the camp. So he had to solve it many times, it is not once only. Always he had to put his mind, because he was a transcendental person. Dharma and adharma was not a binding for him. He knew how to go to the ultimate dharma. So he was able. Now if you follow him, then the guide also, the Arjuna was supposed to follow him. It is the Gati in the presence of the Guru. That will come now. In the next section it will come. Tameva sharanam gaccha.
Tameva sharanam gaccha.
Sarvabhavena bharata.
Sarvabhavena bharata.
Tat prasadat param shantim.
Tat prasadat param shantim.
Sthanam prapsyasi shashvatam.
Sthanam prapsyasi shashvatam.
So he again saying that previously it was sarva karma. That is renouncing sarva karma. Now it has gone, you should be careful, attentive enough. It has gone one step above. It has become subtle. What is that? Not karma, sarva bhava. That is gone to the internal level. Whatever bhavas are coming, whatever emotions, whatever thoughts are coming to our mind, that there itself has to be the surrender, not after it has got converted into a activity. Right there you have to surrender. This is the higher step. Then tat prasadat, tameva sharanam, to whom you are taking refuge, by his prasada you will attain the ultimate peace, the param shantim, sthanam prapsyasi shashvatam, the eternal abode you will get. That means you will have the realization of the self. Iti te jnanamakyatam,
इति ते ज्ञानमाख्यातम्
गुह्यात् गुह्यतरं मया,
गुह्याद् गुह्यतरं मया
विमृश्यैतदशेषेण
विमृश्यैतदशेषेण
यथेच्छसि तथा कुरु.
यथेच्छसि तथा कुरु.
इति ते ज्ञानमाख्यातं गुह्यात् गुह्यतरं मया. This is what all I know about knowledge. I have explained to you everything. Jnanamakyatam guhyat guhyataram. More secret than the very secret. Guhyat guhyataram. Guhyataram is the comparative statement. That something is secret, it is even more secret. Everything I have told you has been explained by me. Jnanamakyatam, called knowledge. Vimishaitat asheshena. You now can analyze and think as much as you can. Asheshena, endlessly. Then yathechasi tatha kuru. Then you do whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do, you do. So he said, I have told you all the knowledge I have. Everything I have told you. Even the secret, more secret than the secret knowledge I have given you. Now think about it in great detail and whatever manner, and then whether you fight or not, it is depending on you. So see how he has left again on Arjuna's ego, that you have to take your decision. That means you are not listening to me, you have to take your decision, and I have told you whatever to be told. Now you know the truth, you make your decisions. Then saying Krishna cannot keep quiet. So this is the most important, the greatest secret in spiritual sadhana. Sarvaguhyatamam bhuyaha,
सर्वगुह्यतमं भूयः
shृणु me paramam vachaha,
शृणु मे परमं वचः
ishtosi me dridhamiti,
इष्टोऽसि मे दृढमिति
tato vakshyami te hitam.
ततो वक्ष्यामि ते हितम्.
He says sarvaguhyatamam, that the most secret, bhuyaha shinu me paramam vacha. Because he says bhuyaha means again. I will tell you again what is the sarvaguhyatamam, the greatest secret I will tell you. And that is my supreme word, paramam vachaha. That is my supreme word. Why that bhuyaha has come? That means he has already told. So you will find the 9.34 Manmana Bhavamad Bhakta is already told there. 9.34, 9th chapter, 34th verse. You cannot just inattentively read. You have to always be very attentive. Each word should be attended to. In 9.34 it was Manmana Bhavamad Bhakto
भवमद्भक्तो
Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru
मद्याजी मां नमस्कुरु
Mame Vaishyasi Yuktvaivam
मामे वैश्यसि युक्त्वैवम्
Atmanam Matparayanaha.
आत्मानं मत्परायणः.
And here in 18.65 it is Manmana Bhavamad Bhakto
मन्मना भव मद्भक्तो
Madhyaji Mam Namaskuru
मद्याजी मां नमस्कुरु
Mame Vaishyasi Satyam Te
मामे वैश्यसि सत्यं ते
Pratijane Priyosi Me.
प्रतिजाने प्रियोऽसि मे.
Up to Mam Eva Eshyasi, that you will attain me. Up to this both are same. There it was Yuktvaivam Atmanam Matparayanaha. Here it is Satyam Te Pratijane Priyosi Me. that I am promising that this will happen because you are most beloved. I will take it up again tomorrow. There is no time. It will take some time. Tomorrow I have to finish. There is no other way. So maybe this will take some little time also. The other things also may take time. Let us see what can be done. You come prepared to stay another 15 minutes if necessary. I may finish it within time. But if necessary, I am not going to prolong another day. It will be another 15 minutes or so. Prabuddham vimuktam vikaradihinam prasannam sada nitya bodha swarupam param nishchalam nirgunam sarvarupam bhajeham sadanusmarami pranomi. Prabuddham vimuktam vikaradihinam prasannam sada nitya bodha swarupam param nishchalam nirgunam sarvarupam bhajeham sadanusmarami pranomi. Hari Om Tat Sat.